Eustass Kid is a D. The captain of the Kid Pirates is a D, I believe. Now, Kid is one of those pirates where when you point your finger, you look at him, you're like, he has the possibility of being a D. He has the remedies. He has the power. He has the personality. He has the goals. He has everything it means to be a D. He's pretty much the same as Luffy, but yet the counter opposite of Luffy. At the start of the Sabody arc, we were introduced to supernovas, pirates who have over 100 billion berry bounty. And it was 11 pirates with over 100 billion berry bounty, two of them being right-hand men to their own captain, Kid, and Luffy. Similarities are already there lining up. Zoro and Killer, over 100 million berry bounty, supernovas. Of course, everyone knows Monkey D, Luffy, Eustass Kid, Basil Hawkins, X Drake, Drooly Bonnie, Blackbeard, Law, Capone Beige, Zoro, Killer, Scratchman Apu, and your Rogue. These are all the supernovas who pretty much have over 100 billion berry bounty. But there were three that were distinguished amongst the 11. There were three that were picked out from Oda in terms of moving on. There were three that were foreshadowed for future events to come. Wano War Arc. Upon closer look, what if the iconic scene meant more than just a future alliance with Luffy, Law, and Kid? What if it showcased 3Ds who will soon have the most influence in the new world out of the worst generation, excluding Blackbeard, and the X Drake's case can be made since the involvement in Sword was revealed. Luffy is a D with direct relations to Monkey D. Garp and Monkey D. Dragon. Law was revealed to be a D in the Dressrosa arc, with his middle name being two of them, Water D. Law, or Water D, more so. That was revealed when Law had his flashback. What if Wano will be a flashback season where we get Kid's flashback finally? Now, of course, why would we need Kid's flashback in the final war of Wano, in the final act? Why do we need Kid's flashback? We don't know. But it seems like one of Kid's main goals is to honestly take out Kaido. Of course, he did what he did to Killer. So there's already an animosity. There's already the story built that's already there. So what if we expand more by Kid adding more depth, to his character, more depth to the person that he is? But the question is, do you think Kid knows he is a D? Do you think Kid knows? Do you think Kid even cares he's a D? I mean, he has to care, right? Because if he didn't, he would have never hit his name, if he did even hit his name. What if even Kid doesn't know? This could be so many possibilities, but I feel like when we seen Luffy, when we see Law, and when we seen Kid, that was a sign. That wasn't a sign for a future alliance, of course, I know. The foreshadowing is there. We finally see them in a Wano War arc almost after 500 chapters. Yes, I know. I see that. Chapter 974, 975, I see it. But I feel like that's a tease for something else. Luffy is a D. Luffy is a D. We know that. Direct relations with his grandfather, and his father, and hell, even his brother Ace. But then you got Law. Law is a D. Water D. Water D. Okay? He has two middle names. Eustass Kid. Eustass Kid. He already is very similar to Luffy. We know that for a fact. He's very similar to Luffy. The only difference is the way they view life, is the way they go about life. They have two different paths, but the end goal is the same damn thing. Pirate King, find the One Piece. The end goal is the same exact thing. This is the Great Pirate Age. But here's another similarity that Ds share. What makes a D a D? There's tons of interesting elements that can point out a D, like when they're at the brink of death, they always smile, even though that's not the case with all Ds. Hence why I believe Ds will have multiple clans. Maybe Ds that are similar to Luffy. Then you got a D that's similar to Blackbeard. But then what if my theory about Shanks was right? Then you got a D who's similar to that. We don't know. Luffy and Kid are pretty much the same people. One is a little bit more hard, while the other one is a little bit more lenient. But they both get the job done. I believe there's 3 clans to the D family. Now, what are the clans? I'm not sure, but these 3 clans are separated into the dreams and the personalities and basically the overall character shape of the character, or the base of the character, excuse me. I believe the 3 Ds, that basically are in the clans would be somebody like Luffy and Goldie Roger. They fit the one theme of D. Then you have a Marine, possibly, and then you have somebody like Blackbeard or even Rox D. Quebec. There's somebody who goes into the deep end versus somebody who wants to be free, and then you got that middle angle. I feel like Kid almost fits that middle angle perfectly, but he is a lot like Luffy. Either way, if there isn't 3 clans in the D family like I believe, then there is at least 2. There's at least 2, because not every D smiles when they're about to die. So we can't correlate that suggestion to everybody else unless Blackbeard is lying about being a D. Then that changes the game. That changes the game impendously. I don't know if I said that right, but that changes the game. If Blackbeard isn't a D, then he's the only one who would be exempt from that rule of smiling before they're gonna die. That's beautiful, that's different, but Blackbeard is a D. Rox D. Quebec was one of the greatest enemies, if not the greatest enemy that Gold D. Roger and Monkey D. Garp faced together. And he was a very bad D. At least that's what we think. Think about it. When you got the Gold D. Roger, future Pirate King 40 years ago, and he's like, yo, you want me to help you? Garp, the hero, pretty much the strongest character in One Piece? Really? All right. Rox, because you got Whitebeard Kaido and Big Mom, Captain John, Shiki. Okay, fine. Maybe even Shaki. Maybe. Fine, I help you. Rox D. Quebec was a very bad D. That means all D's don't want the same thing. But then you got to think about the revolutionaries. Monkey D. Dragon. His core change is different from Goldie Roger. But there's one thing. If there's one thing they really have all in common, is freedom. Freedom, no matter how you cut it, shape it, look it, no matter what. Freedom is the one common thing that the D's share. Freedom. Goldie Roger essentially wants to be free by traveling the world, by finding the One Piece, by acceding to the throne of the Pirate King. That is Goldie Roger. That is freedom. Dying on his own choice. That is freedom. Luffy wanting to do everything he can by being a free man. That is freedom. That's freedom. Blackbeard, same case. No matter how he's going about it, that's freedom. Monkey D. Garp didn't want to ascend to the admiral because he didn't want to be under direct command of the Tenryubito. The Celestial Dragons, that's freedom. That's freedom. Rox D. Quebec gathered the strongest pirate crew known to man in the One Piece universe and sailed the oceans for over 2 years. That's freedom. Jaguar D. Soul, a vice admiral, I believe, or a captain. One of those two. He helped Robin get away. Essentially the last-ditch effort in saving O'Hara by putting everything you had in the devil child Nico Robin. That's freedom. That's freedom. So either way it goes, either way you chop it up, the D's probably back 900 years ago during the Vogue century, they were probably abolished in a way. Now I know I'm using abolished in a way where it might not fit, but think about it. I believe they were abolished or something happened to the point where the D clan split up in two or threes. Two or threes. I'm going to make a better video with this probably next week, but two or threes. Then you had pretty much people who came out like Goldie Roger versus people who came out like Ross D. Quebec. In the middle, you had people who came out like Eustass Kid. Maybe even Dragon, the revolutionary. Because he's not like Goldie Roger. See, Goldie Roger necessarily didn't want to go straight to the world government and figure out everything. He had to do things his way. Freedom. But Dragon, he directly wants to oppose the world government. He doesn't want to ascend to no throne, the Pirate King. He doesn't want that. Freedom to him is trying to change the world by starting with the world government. That's freedom. That's one common thing that the D's share, no matter how you cut it, no matter what their paths do, or no matter how their paths are aligned, Freedom is the one main common thing. Now, the biggest common thing that the D's share, in my opinion, which is why I kind of as Eustass Kid, defying the world government. Defying the world government. Now, of course, this can be applied to any pirate, hell, even any revolutionary. But when you defy the government like you are as a D, when you defy the government like you are as a D, the passion, everything behind it, the weight of is different. When you defy the government and you're a D, it's different. Your life is on the line every single time. Every single time your life is on the line. Luffy, he defies the government. We seen what he did in his lobby. Okay? In his lobby declared war on the world government. Damn near had a buster call show up. That is defying the world government. Goldie Roger went toe-to-toe with Garp. Pretty much the strongest character in One Piece history. Defying the world government. That's defying the world government. Finding the One Piece. They tried to shut that man up forever, and it couldn't be done. Little do they know, Goldie Roger was unintentionally a catalyst for the Shichibukai system. But yet they trying to shut that man up. Defying the world government. Eustass Kid said something about the world government that rang true to me.
Celestial dragons, slaves, human shops.
That pirate?
Yeah, that's Captain Kidd from the South Blue.
When the people in power act this cruel and greedy, it makes common criminals like us look pretty humane by comparison. When scum like that are the ones writing the rules, it creates more scum. They hate pirates, but they're the ones who made them. At least we're as endearing as we are mean, right, killer? Seems fair.
Agreed.
If we see someone interesting, you think we should try and buy them?
No matter how you cut it. No matter how you cut it, he defies the world government. He defies mainly the celestial dragons, the Tenyo Buto. He defies them because he says to them, pirates look almost humane. And pirates do fucked up shit. Pirates do messed up stuff. So for him to say pirates damn near look humane at the face of the celestial dragons, at the world government, that's defying the Navy. That's defying the Marines, man. That's defying the world government. And almost every single D, if not every D, every D has defied the world government. Ross D. Quebec had to, come on now, was slaving, and Garp and Goldie Roger had to save celestial dragons, defied the world government, Ross D. Quebec. Jaguar D Saul rescuing Nico Robin, pushing her out of there, but dying on a job, defying the world government, GARP. Luffy, dragon, revolutionaries, defying the world government. It doesn't change, man. That is one common thing. They're different. They're different. You got Shanks, who's laid back. You got Mihawk, who's laid back. All the warlords. But when you get a D who faces the power and the magnitude of trying to go after the world government, you cannot tell me when they defy the world government that shit doesn't shake. You cannot tell me when they defy the world government that things do not move a certain way. That is one common thing, because whatever happened in 900 years ago is why the D's are so rebellious, is why the D's are so powerful, is why the D's are so ambitious, is why the D's are so passionate. So when you tell me we got Luffy, we got Law, and we got Kid standing in threes, and Law just got revealed as a D at the Dressrosa arc, and you're telling me that Kid won't? No, never. Kid is a D. Kid is a D, and I know it. I see it. Of course, his personality is a little different from Luffy. The way he came up was different than the way Luffy came up. See, Luffy came up admiring. Luffy came up admiring Shanks. He came up admiring Garp. Then he had two big brothers. Luffy never really had to be on that down and out. All Kid had was Killer since pretty much birth. So when people asked him, and when people said, oh, you're going to find the One Piece, and they laughed, he whooped their ass. And that is what marks the difference between Luffy and Kid. Because in the Jaya arc, Bellamy laughed at Luffy. But Luffy deemed the Bellamy pirates not worth it. Told Zoro, his right-hand man, do not touch him. Don't touch him. Their brains are here. They not ready for the vast world that is the One Piece. They're not ready for it. Do not touch him. But Kid, he's a different beast. He's a different animal. You're laughing at me because I want to find a One Piece, because I want to become Pirate King? I'm knocking your head off. I'm knocking your literal head off. And that's what Kid did every time. That's how he ascended to power. Thing I want to mention, and I feel like this is very big. It's two things: loyalty and fear. I believe that the D's are almost exempt from fear. Of course, you got those special exemptions, Blackbeard. That man is scary. That is the only man that I know that is a D that is scared. But at the same time, he's tactical. He's tactical. He can't go into a fight knowing he's going to lose. But then again, even if he does, he doesn't want to fight somebody when it's not when the cards are not right in his favor. When the cards aren't even ready to be even played. He's a tactical man. So who knows what Blackbeard is truly thinking? But fear in the eyes of D? No, not at all. Not at all. Luffy shows no fear. We seen that. Garp shows no fear. Dragon, no fear. Jaguar D Saw didn't care if he was going to die or not. No fear. Save Nico Robin. She's the hope. She is the future. Ohara needs to be saved through her. No fear at all. Poor guy's DA stepped up to Ika Inu after battling. No fear. Eustass Kid. Let me tell you what Eustass Kid do and why this man is the most non-fearful person in the worst generation. Yes, even more than Luffy. Look at me. When I tell you this right now, look at my eyes. Look at the passion that I'm... Eustass Kid faced 3 out of 4 Yonkos. 3 out of 4 Yonkos. The D are not fearful. He went up to the Shanks Pirates, lost an arm, came out that bitch damn near untouched besides the arm gone. But isn't it kind of weird that Shanks also lost an arm? And guess who he lost his arm for? Luffy. It's kind of weird. Think about it. And then you got Big Mom. Came on to Big Mom's island, Tado Island. Injured one of the commanders, more than likely Cracker. I believe it was Cracker. And then proceeded to sink 2 shits and didn't even want to go after Big Mom. And then and only then he had an unintentional but yet confrontation with Kaido and didn't back down not once. Stood his own, stood 10 toes down and said, let's go. Next time we seen Kid, granted, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he still stood 10 toes down to 3 out of 4 of the Yonkos. You tell me if a regular pirate gonna do that. You tell me if a regular pirate in their right mind has that much ambition to go do that. The only person I know in the Luffy and Law are the only people I know. Everybody else in the worst generation are doing things for their own reasons. These 3 have the most qualities to be a D than I've ever seen in my life, and 2 of them are confirmed, Luffy and Law. Kid is a D. I know that for a fact. I feel it. I really feel it. Kid is a D. Lastly, loyalty. Never have to question that with a D. You never have to question that with a D. Hell, you never have to question that with a D, even when you're talking about Blackbeard or Rocks. Why? Because Rock stayed with his pirates for 2 years and built some of the strongest pirates known to man 40 years ago. We're talking Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Captain John, Shiki, maybe even Shaki. Come on. Come on. Whatever it is, that's loyalty. Come on. And then Blackbeard, I ain't never seen him be ill to his motherfucking pirates because he's on a mission. That man is on a mission. Then you got Luffy. Then Jaguar D. Saul, loyalty to his own heart, loyalty to the right reason. Then you got Law. Come on now. These are qualities that I believe that Eustass has. And the main thing is when we seen Luffy, Law, and Kid at Sabody, we all thought this moment was going to happen again. But I think it entails so much more than just a future alliance. Nah. These are the 3 Ds that are going to take over the One Piece world. These are the 3 Ds that are going to take over the One Piece world. That's a fact. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed my theory of One Piece and Kid being a D. I kind of went crazy. I went on a little tangent. Excuse me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And until then, I'm going to see you guys later.